Don't talk about yours like mine can wait. Ain't no one jumping the line today. Honestly, nigga, I mind today. Think I'm just hating, rewind the tape. Pay what you owe me, I'll find a way. If I make a decision, it's mine to make. I'm trying to be real and they trying to play. Turn me up, I'm on that time. 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 I'm on that time. On that time. On that time. On that time. I'm on that time. On that time. On that time. On that time. I'm on that time. On that time. On that time. On that time. I'm on that.
Welcome to another episode of On That Time Podcast. Today we got a powerhouse in the building. She's an entrepreneur, an author, an international businesswoman, an economic mobility advocate, a philanthropist, a community visionary. She's celebrating 20 years as a business owner. She's the founder and CEO of Capital Consulting Services, a management consulting firm that has worked with cities, organizations, entrepreneurs, and economic development initiatives across the country and internationally. She's a creative, exploring her talents in the arts as a singer, songwriter, and now stepping into authorship through her self-help book focused on empowering women. Today we are talking entrepreneurship, culture, education, music, international business, nature, legacy, and purpose. I want y'all to give it up for my dear friend and my special guest for today, Miss Tracey Clark Jeffries. Well, look at here. Got you here. We're in the building. Man, it's an honor. I just want to thank you for giving me your time and doing this interview. But before we jump in, I just want for the people, I just want them, for the first time meeting you, I want them to know who is Tracey.
Okay. All right. Who is Tracey? So, first of all, let me say I am humbled to be here. And I don't really like talking about myself. I like talking about others. And we did a conversation before we introduced. I was learning about you. So I really like to learn about others. Yeah. And so I'm going to say from this part, a little bit about me is that, I consider myself a humble person. Mm-hmm. I come from humble beginnings. Mm-hmm. I love my community. I hope they love me back.
There you go.
I'm a mother. And I am a lioness with my mother, with my children. And so I am protective, but not in controlling. I let them grow. I'm a business owner. I've been in business for 20 years. I've ran my own company for 20 years, Capital Consulting Services, and I'm celebrating 20 years in November.
Wow, look at that. Yeah. Shout out to you for that. There you go.
And so, and I got, a little older, got the kids out the way, and I decided to just explore different things in life, things I always wanted to do. And so from that, I'm a philanthropist. I engage in music. I recently became a published author, and the book is selling well. I travel, and not only do I travel for fun, I travel and explore communities on how sustainability and people are living and how and study the way how we can improve the quality of life for others.
Wow, there you go. Wow. I know it's two things I want to touch on that you said when you talked about being humble. You was literally like one of the most humble people I got a chance to meet. You know what I'm saying? For those who don't know, I actually featured on one of your songs. And that was pretty amazing. I was actually at your album release party.
Yes, you were.
And I was just telling a friend of mine the other day, and I was like, man, they love this lady. They love this lady. And I thought, I'm like, well, next album release party if I do another,
right.
I need my friends to show up just like yours.
Just like mine did.
Excited and you just felt the love.
I did.
And another thing I wanted to touch on is, when you say I know when getting on the elevator, I said you look like you getting younger since the last time I seen you.
That's right.
And so considering that you wear many hats and do many things, right. I can see that I'm going to say that it has to be true that you stay busy, you stay healthy, right?
Yeah, you have
it's
to.
been like maybe 3-4 years since I last.
It has. It's been 2023. Yeah, so 3 years.
And you ain't aged a bit. I'm gonna get the secret, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But y'all just watch it. I'm gonna get the secret. I think I know. I think I might be onto something. But I'm gonna get the secret. But that's amazing. You do a lot, and I'm from a small town,
right?
Small area, small. That people drive through there, but
everybody some can.
Everybody some can, and you got all types of people drive through there. One of the things you said was like when you first knew about it, like I didn't even know it was that many black people there.
Yeah.
You know how many times I heard that?
Yeah.
And so it is a place where a lot of people don't. There's no eyes down there. A lot of talent, no eyes down there. So one day we're gonna have to invite you to come down there and check out the way we live.
Absolutely, Kingpin. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let me chime in on that piece when you did that song with me. And we did a piece on a story about a lady who was waiting on
a guy that was
incarcerated.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And your piece that you came in with was just so connecting to that. And I had women say, "What made you write that?" And I said, it's part of our story in the Black community, because when crack hit the scene, a lot of our Black men went to jail, and a lot of our Black men are in jail for things they have not done, and it has impacted how the Black woman survives, and many times they remain heartbroken. Because the system failed them, but in their mind, the man failed them. And so I just want to say that was,
it was crazy, because when Tony called me about this song and he sent it over, I got a chance to hear your vocals on it. And not outside of being able to relate to that situation, because I've been incarcerated before. But man, the way you flowed on there, and it was like,
where you at?
And I'm like, bro, who is this? You know what I'm saying? And he like, you got to come on, because a lot of times we do music, and I always tell people this here: when you collabing with somebody, you bring out the best in each other.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So if you ain't good, you ain't gonna get good at it.
That's right.
And I think I probably wrote 3 verses of that song. Like I wanted it to be on
really. You didn't have to take too much on it.
Because it just was so much I wanted to say, and every time I would go back and listen to your vocals, it was like, dang, I want to say this now. You feel me?
Because it was relatable.
Yeah, it was definitely relatable. I have not since then. I don't think people even speak on a lot of that nowadays. You know what I'm saying? What's going on. So I have to definitely salute you for even putting that together. I'm telling you, I first heard, I was like, good song. Right person.
he thought it was hilarious, and he said, "No, you're gonna record this." I said, "You got to be kidding me."
Sometimes I don't think Tony knew at the time, because when he played, I was like, "Yo, bro, when did y'all do this?" And he knew the right person to call. Like he knew I wanna. You will put your piece on it. And when I heard it, it was like, oh yeah. I definitely got it. So shout out to you for that.
Thank you.
And so what are you still recording music, or can we expect anything new to be coming out soon?
Or
is it secret, top secret?
It's top secret. Top secret. Boy, I tell you, I gotta cut you.
There you go.
But I do want to say that I love writing music. I love writing as a whole. And so if I had an opportunity to expand on that, I think I'll do that.
There you go.
I think I do. I think I got it in me.
There you go. You definitely got it in you. You definitely got it in you. I know the listening party was so amazing. Like the way you, I'm like, man, I gotta step my shit up, because shit came out. You know what I'm saying? You got smoke everywhere, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got to step it up.
4 seasons, like whoa.
4 seasons, so that was major. And I came in there suited up. I'm like, oh, I ain't know how to, I'm a rapper, so I'm like, let me make sure I'm overdressed. But then I thought about it. I'm like, nah, this Miss Trace, I gotta put that shit on.
Put it on. You was fly. You were fly. All the ladies was like, who is that? I was like,
that's what's up. I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed watching you. I think one of the things I'm gonna say this before I go to the next thing is when you think about the music culture. I was just talking to some friends the other day, and they artists, rap artists or whatever. and they every time I come around, it's like, yo, Kingpin, listen to this, and it's cool listening to it because it be hot. But I'm the person now, like, what is you doing? Because nowadays they have an age limit on. As a singer, you can sing.
That's right.
All the way up to you're 100 years old.
That's right.
Nobody's gonna say nothing.
That's right.
But as a rapper, an artist,
it's an expiration date.
Yeah, it's an expiration date on that, and they're gonna. So you really have to be strategic the way you do it. And one of the things I said was, Killer Mike just got album of the year in 2024, 23, or something like that. And I know he well in his 50s, early 50s or late.
That's right. Yeah, he is.
So you have to be passionate about it. And you have to be strategic about it. I think. And you just can't be talking about some shoot 'em up, bang bang music.
No, that stuff dead. No, that's dead.
Especially in your 50s.
No, you can't. And even the rap here today, I commend a lot of the rappers for talking about some of the things that happens in regards to like the shoot 'em up, bang bang, the drugs and things like that. But they ain't lived it.
Yeah.
See, our era really saw those type of people, and so they're thank you for telling the story, but give the credit to those who lived it. And then I tell everyone I grew up before your MTV Raps, and so lyrically profound is very important. What you say in your lyrics is important because rap influences this entire world. At one point in time, it was banned. I remember it when it was banned, and they fought to have it banned, and as LL say, radio stations wasn't giving no airplay type thing. And so we need to be mindful of the power of rap, and we need to be mindful of our words. Stay literally profound in what you deliver, and coming from someone who loved rap. I mean, I go all the way back from, Run DMC.
There you go.
to Big Thug Blood. I'm all in it, so it's amazing how it goes. But then, you gotta figure out what you're gonna do once you figure out it hasn't happened, and you gotta change. I'm not saying give up rap, but change how you deliver your rap. If that's not working for you, then how you gonna go?
I always say you gotta have you ain't getting the checks and making the money off of it. You gotta have a plan B.
Plan B.
Yeah, and that's the important thing that you said. The guys that a lot of rappers that rap things and ain't living. I'm a firm believer that a lot of our youth be misled by some of these rappers. They following it, and at the end of the day, it's like they ain't living this life.
They can't live this life. Social media won't let them live this life. See, we didn't have none of that. You can't live it. You can't live this life. I'm telling you right now. I know you're not living it.
We have to be really out there. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be like mentally ill. Got to be really, really living that life like that. And those that are, you see them, they're in ski masks.
They're off the radar.
They're off the
radar. So one of the things I want to move to is you built a business, advised cities, worked in economic development, and now you're expanding internationally.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about that.
Oh yeah. So back in January, I had a chance. First off, let me say I love Accra, Ghana, and I've been there a few times since 2021, and it's been a frequent visit. And I was introduced because I was speaking down at Florida International University about a research project that we'll talk about in regards to Black-owned small businesses and the survival of our urban communities. And one of the universities over in Ghana heard me and invited me over to come and speak and keynote their sustainability conference. And from that, I had a chance they took me around, the dignitaries did, and the Republic of Ghana, and I just kind of fell in love with the whole movement that they're trying to do there in regards to bringing back some African Americans back to their hometown, because we really kind of homeless for real. We got done dirty, but that's another segment. But
we definitely gonna touch on it.
We're gonna get on it. But we really homeless. We can't identify our names, because our names were changed, and it's hard for us to trace where we really come from. Every other ethnicity can do that, but we can't, because we were stripped and And for a long time, you know, even our home country was like, nah, we don't like you. But now those things have changed.
Yeah.
And since then, because of my line of work is mainly in economic development and sustainability in communities, they're doing a lot of that in that area for us to come back. And so it was a easy move, a transition with the Republic of Ghana and for Africa, where I have a centralized office there
Oh,
and
wow.
a communications person and a strategic director, and the whole goal at some point is to gather the community to be able to visit Africa,
Wow.
so more of us can do business over
Shout out
there.
to you. Shout out to you. That's definitely amazing.
Thank you.
That's woman power. Black woman power. Like,
International moves.
That's crazy because that's them more places that I always wanted to go in you know, growing up in the U.S. and the things they tell us about countries that, you know, I feel like we need to be in.
Absolutely.
They'll kind of scare you into going.
Yeah.
But that's definitely on my to-do list. Is to go out there. I want to see parts of Africa.
You can get there. We're going to get there, brother. We're going to go ahead and make that happen. One thing about it, you know, people, like you said, the media makes you seem like you shouldn't go there. But look, if you can walk through St. Louis downtown, you can walk through Ghana. I'm telling you that right now. If you're not scared to walk through here, you can walk through there. And so, and the people welcome when you first, always when I get off the plane, there's always a culture shock. I'm like, that's a lot. And then I get off and I get the maneuvering around with them. And see, I like to go, when I travel, I like to go where the natives go. You know, I don't want to see no tourists and stuff. Take me down there to meet, you know, your tribe. You know, I want to sit in a hut, you know, and learn about your culture and why you think the way you do.
See, I'm like that. That's the stuff. I don't want to see that. When I was in Curacao, and I didn't want to see what people. You know, I take me in the trenches. I want to
take me in the trenches. That's the word. Take me in the trenches.
I want to know they culture, the way they live, and what they going through, and the things that they battle.
Absolutely,
And, I learned that I think people in other countries would be way happier than we are.
They look like it. As of right now, they probably are.
Definitely.
My stepdad lives in London in the UK in St. Peter's, and I visit him often and everything. He calls me all the time. He's like, man, y'all laugh and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, you know. So you know, it's something when, you know, other countries, we used to be, you know, the one looked to for innovation and technology and everything. Now we, you know, looking like fools.
We definitely.
I don't know. We need to create another party or something. I don't know. A Mickey Mouse party, a Donald Duck party. But anybody can
go back home.
Go back home.
You know, that's the first thing they say. We say something about the U.S. Why you here? I don't want to be here.
We don't want to be here. We don't want to be here. Y'all force us. Run us our money. That's and give us back our land. Stop playing with us.
So how often do you go out to Ghana?
I was just there in January. I was there with my sorority sisters, but then I also took care of business. I'm headed out in June. So you know, it'd probably be something quite often that'll happen. Working with with the Republic of Ghana on some projects, and so it's part of my calendar now.
So what do you do? Like, I'm trying to say this the right way for people who, you know, like, do you wake up when something comes to your mind? Because I'm like that too. Like, I'm the type of person that I don't sleep. My mind goes 24/7. But the hardest time sometimes for a lot of people, and you know, me even talking to you about my hometown area, it's a small town. What advice would you give to young women, older women, even guys, males who have these ideas, these things that they want to do, but they wake up and they talk about it or they tell a friend about it, but they don't never.
They never execute.
They never execute. And to hear you do all these things, like, what motivates you? What pushes you to get up and like, hey, I'm gonna go do this. I thought about this, so I'm gonna do this. Like, what advice would you give other people for that?
I would say, first thing, one, keep a pen and paper by your bed.
There you go.
I do. I have a pad and pen on my nightstand, and it has been on my nightstand, I mean, probably 25, 30 years, 30 years easily. And if I think of something in my sleep or I wake up with something, I jot it down. Because those are the times where my creative flows happen. Things are slowing down and I can kind of say, this is what I want. And it's not necessarily that I have to implement it at that time. A lot of things that I have implemented actually was on my table 10 years ago, or on the table 15 years ago, or 3 years ago. And some things, it didn't evolve into where I wanted to be, but it evolved into something else. And so one of the advice I say is keep a pen and paper on your table. One, the second thing is master something. Be a master of something. Jack of all trades, but master of many. Master one thing, and then when you master that one thing, then people will see you as someone that has accomplished something. So once you're identified as someone that can accomplish something, that means you can execute. Yeah. Because I mean, I tell everybody, what's an idea? It's nothing but a pen and a paper and a pad on something that you wishing that you had. All right. Look at that.
I caught that board.
Hey, all day. And so when do you finally say, this is when I'm going to make something up? And then second, quit talking about it. Yeah. Because I'm going to tell you something. Just because that's your friend, just because that's someone, your lover, just because that's your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother, I'm going to tell you right now, 9 times out of 10, they're praying it don't happen to you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, they're gonna pray it don't happen to you. And when people wish that things don't happen to you, spirits travel. Yeah. And so therefore, when people are wishing those type of things on you, you wonder why it's not working. That's why you get people that are cycle breakers in families. I'm the cycle breaker. I went all the way in my family. Now I'm not the first successful entrepreneur. It's my grandfather. He was the first black man to have a hotel license in St. Louis. Oh, wow. Absolutely. And he had a taxi cab company. He had a laundromat. He had a convenience store. He never worked for anyone a day in his life. Took care of the entire family. And so I'm not the first to do that. My great-great-grandfather was a judge. But I'm the first to actually set the boundaries of how things should go for the next generation.
Wow. Shout out to you for that. That's major. That is major.
So start something, keep a pen and pad, stay consistent with it, stop talking about your ideas, and master something.
There you go. That's definitely true. A lot of that, when you were saying that, I was doing a self-check.
My check, self-check.
Let me make sure I'm checking myself.
Is this me?
Yeah. It's true, because I get a lot of people all the time ask me, like, I'm from a small area, so like, yo, how you be meeting all these people, interviewing these people? And I said, I started with music. You know what I'm saying?
Music brings people together.
Yes. And I think one of the things I was saying, I used to mess with Tony about all the time is, we talk about we didn't get the millions, we wanted the millions. And I was like, man, I never really prayed for that. I thought the money would come with it. I wanted to be an artist. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I could say I lived a life as an artist. I didn't get the million, but when
not yet. It's coming.
I have had I'm gonna say priceless networking. Right. With people such as yourself, and other people that I have met doing music, and friendships that I have developed. Money can't buy those.
Absolutely. You can be rich in relationships. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, that's the best thing ever, because you can have all the money in the world and be miserable and be surrounded by a bunch of people that's yesing you or and trying to figure out how to sabotage you. But if you got a few solid people, Kendrick Lamar say that, few solid people, but it ain't enough. But it ain't enough. All right. You know what I'm saying? We need more of that. We need more of that. And be able to have the ability to be able to take some criticism and have a little tough skin. One thing about me was that I had tough skin. My mother was she was very affectionate. She loved us, but she also gave me tough skin. So she didn't baby me when things happened. And I'm going to tell you something. That was the best thing that ever happened to me. When I got out in this world and I started getting thumped, my little light-skinned self, and I started getting thumped, I didn't have hard skin. I didn't have soft skin. I wasn't in the corner crying. I was like, oh, yeah. Okay, let me show you.
Yeah.
You know, and so you gotta have some tough skin, and then you gotta just stay with it, and then know when to pivot.
Yeah.
If it ain't working,
yeah.
be able to be open to somebody telling you something else for you to do it.
Yeah.
You know, one of the cardinal mistakes, and I don't know if it's a mistake now, but it would have benefited later. I worked for the previous owner of Tom McCann Shoes. Remember Tom McCann Shoes?
I heard of it, yeah.
He sold Tom McCann. I ended up working for him. He had another little small shoe shop. And that's what got me through college. And he came to me. He was crazy about me. He came in. His name, Tom. He said, kiddo, I need you to invest in the downtown businesses in St. Louis. And here's the contact. We don't have a meeting. And you can buy this for pennies. I'm, 20, 21 years old. I'm like, boy, they ain't doing nothing like that. And 10, 15 years later, downtown popped. And our downtown came alive. Now downtown ain't back alive, but those who jumped in that bandwagon made millions.
Wow.
Made millions. And he gave me some advice that I did not take. And had I took it, that would just change my whole trajectory.
Wow.
Earlier than later. And I use that as a prime lesson when someone told me something or took a liking to me and gave me some information. From that point on, I never said and dismissed it. Yeah. I went on, I did my homework, determined if it was something that I want to get into, and then make a decision.
Well, I know to keep that in mind, and you got the reason. So how was it? How did you feel to receive recognition from the people out in Ghana? Like, how did that make you feel?
That was oh my God! First off, let me say there's nothing like the Mercedes Benz with the flags on the front, like you see on Coming to America. Coming to get you. There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that. When they pulled up at the hotel, I was like, "Oh, they coming in." Who they want? And my dear sister, Nicole, Judge Nicole, I love her dearly. We standing there, and she, she's standing there. She's like, "That's for us." She already ready. I'm not, And when I got the phone call, it was like, "Hey, we're kicking off our first annual W.E.B. Du Bois Leadership Award, and this." And let me say something about the Diaspora of Africa. That organization connects Black businesses and people like us to Africa and help us position ourselves. But she has a wall of the listing of people that's come there to visit her. Obama and, just some really prominent names, that is on this wall. And so she said, hey, we're having our first W.E.B. Du Bois Award. And, and we want to recognize you for your entrepreneurship and your, social injustice here in Ghana. And I'm like, for real?
Wow.
For real. For real. And so, it was, and then the dignitaries that came out, and these were Black women. I'm talking about ambassadors of Spain and ambassadors of Switzerland and vice president of the Accra office, and I mean Black women, and I'm like. I was walking around like, I need your number. I need your number.
Yeah,
I need your number.
Work the room.
I was working the room because I need to call you and talk to you, and, but then in the same, they were in awe of me. And like connecting to me. And so, that was, definitely a bucket list for me.
Shout out to you for that.
Thank you.
And I could see them. That's one thing I was going to say, like, how you was like, oh, let me get your number. I'm like, I bet they was trying to gravitate to you. You just have that about yourself. Again, I go back to your listening party, and it was like, these people love this woman. And you can't do nothing but love you. You know what I got a first chance, I got a chance to meet you. It's just like, you know, your personality, and it's just, you're just full of joy, and
Thank you.
And that's dope. That's definitely dope. So you have a book coming out, huh?
I have
a book.
I have a book that is released. It released in March.
And what's the name of that?
Oh, it's a very interesting title. It's called Your Man, My Man, The Community Man. And it's...
Your Man, My Man, The Community. Oh, Lord.
I meant to bring you a copy and I forgot, but I'm going to make sure you get one.
The tea to this book.
The tea to this book, one, I was in...
Ready or not. Ready or not, here I come, can't hide. Gonna find you and then I play my enemies like a game of chess where I rest. No stress, no success.
Inspired to write it because for about 10 years I did small business consulting, and I helped a lot of women who were trying to start their business, you know, get started. And I help just individuals as a whole. And now I look at it from a macro lens of helping cities implement sustainability centers and things like that, innovation centers for those programs. But, you know, I used to do that. And one of the things that came about with that, we could never hop right into the business. It was always a segment of conversations first, and it was either about two things: they kids or they man. You know, and if it was a good relationship, it was like, or they were married, it's like, how do I have this business and still be a wife, you know, type thing, or, you know, or keep him connected so he doesn't feel jealous, or, you know, sometimes some of them just had some bad kids, period, at the end. I was like, beat them. Beat them, girl, Jesus. And so, but that led into being fast forward, getting those calls. And then I went through something myself. And I just decided to tell the stories. So I called each woman back, and I called 3 guys, and I said, can I ask you a story? So it's a reflection, a reclamation, and a journey. It's more like a wellness book to kind of put you in tune with yourself. It's not a man bashing type of thing, because I don't believe in man bashing.
Hey, I do not believe in man bashing.
I do not believe in that. I do not believe in that. And he leads. He leads. He leads.
I don't even think I've heard a woman in 2026 say that.
I'm so sick of it on them talking about you don't need a man. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Come take out my trash. Come clean my gutters. Yes, come take me somewhere. Yes. You know.
That's man, I almost said it again for the people in the back. We hear a lot of that. But it goes both ways too.
It does.
And I always say that, like, guys be, I don't need her studying who it is, and I'm like, yeah, it's like that to the right nigga.
Yeah, right. Then you jealous. Then you mad. Now you mad. Now you mad. Now you mad. But you know what? A lot of those people are riding off pain. And the best way to be able to move forward in relationships when they do not work is to forgive someone, whether they give you closure or not. You don't need closure. Close yourself. You know what this has say? Fall in love with you.
Fall in love with
you. If you learn how to fall in love with you first, you ain't gonna have all those problems. First of all the red flags gonna come present. And whatever she say first or whatever he say first, if it's a red flag, you're gonna already catch it. So you already gotta kind of be in tune with stuff. Now it took me some time to learn this myself. I'm not saying that I always had it right, but it was something that once I figured it out, it became something that gave me so much more peace. Wow. So this book tells that story about identifying that type of man and why he does it. And I had a guy that I actually did an interview with, and he pretty much said, a lot of times it happens is because the man is with someone that he really didn't want to be with. And once he becomes the person that he wants to be. Now he wants the woman that he really wants.
Yeah. Wow, that's deep.
And he said sometimes, and this is, and look, this is my uncle, and he fine, and the women love him.
Yeah.
And so I know it's coming from some real space.
Yeah.
And
He one of them ones.
He one of them. Uncle Leslie, you one of them ones. He one of them ones, you know. But he, and he got his stuff together.
There you go.
But sometimes, and that could involve into, you like a woman that cook. You like how she cook. You like how she dance. You like, and so it's hard to get all of those things you done. But once you have a certain position in yourself, now you can choose those things.
Yeah.
And guess what? With women is the pool. I tell women, so you think it's a shortage of men? And that's how I open up the book. Every man I've met, they said, girl, it's a shortage of us, right? It's a shortage. I said, no, it ain't a shortage of men. It's a shortage of good men.
Yeah.
And so one day somebody asked me, he said, well, who do you think did it to us? I said, hell, we did. Messed y'all up. The mama, the sister, and the first girlfriend messed y'all up. Or the first wife. We messed y'all up. Y'all been running off pain ever since. Let that pain go.
Yeah.
Because if it don't work, the man's the fault.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All day long. He got to be the one to walk away. He got to be the one to end it. He got to be the one to initiate his household. He got to be the one. He got to lead. He got to lead. He ain't leading. He ain't being a man. You can't call in somebody else another man and tell him what your woman ain't doing. You the one not doing something because she ain't doing it. Now, is there some crazy chicks out here? Absolutely. But that's where that red flag come in at.
Yeah.
You got to pay attention to it. Yeah. Quit letting her snatch your soul in that bedroom and understand what she really about. So.
That's deep. That's the first. It's crazy because we just had a relationship segment on here where we talked about relationships and excuse my French, but the shit you just said, I mean, it is true, and I would say as men, we have to take accountability for
taking some accountability. Yeah,
we do too. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it come with women. I always say, it come with age. I mean, it's age growth. You know what I mean? I just think it come with growth. I don't know. Some people grow sooner than
some grow sooner than later, and we do mature faster than men. It's just how things are, and that's why you have men who get older and get in relationships. Well, some of them looking for a hospice wife, but you have men that get older that can get in a relationship, be in a stable relationship, where women younger can be in a stable relationship, get older and don't want to, because the clocks kind of sometimes, miss. And that's why you get people who've been married a long time. They say, oh, we've been married 30, 40 years. One year somebody giving 20% of giving 80. 1 year somebody then totally clocked out, somebody running 100. And so you're never really giving that full capacity. It's just a give and take. And
so how do you feel about that? Because, you hear a lot of that all the time with women nowadays. And, hey, my man ain't doing this, or he ain't providing this. And I just think in a relationship, like you just said, it's going to be, it's going to be up and down, So I think, and when I heard a woman say that, immediately I started thinking like, oh, so you ain't willing to, to struggle with your man or go through,
you think it's about a struggle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was on the phone with my partner last night. I ain't gonna turn this because this is gonna be a drama. But we was talking about the movie with Taraji. Henson played in. And with the guy, she put all into him. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you, what do you feel like she messed up by leaving him? Do you feel like it's because one thing I like I told my partner last night, I said, man, one thing I can agree with when women speak on it is that she poured a lot into this guy, you know what I'm saying? And I think he did cheat in the beginning. I didn't see nothing else in the movie where he was just cheating throughout the movie. And we make mistakes. I always tell people that all the time. We make mistakes. Right. But I did see him cheat in the beginning of the movie. Right. But, she worked hard, went through a lot of money, and when she gave up on him, he become rich, and he turns back and rebuy her mom's house and gives her $10 million. And I heard so many women say, nah, that ain't enough, and he ain't right, he was wrong, so I won't co-take on him.
Oh, boy. So first off, let me say that's a good segue into my second book. And my second book will be released in July, and it's called Wifey Duties: How to Just Be the Girlfriend.
Wifey duty.
Mm-hmm.
How to just be the girlfriend?
Just be the girlfriend, because and where that coincides with what you're asking me is because a lot of times we pour into relationships that we really just should be the girlfriend in.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that, you cooking for him, you doing his laundry, you dealing with his kids, you dealing with his baby mama, you taking him lunch to work, you ironing his clothes and all of that on the pretense of what? What you getting? What you getting? And so be intentional about how you give your energy.
Yeah.
And I'm even talking about I'm talking about married women and single women.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because I was married and I did all the wifey duties, but then there was no intentional action on that end. And so you can be married and have that situation as well. And so pay attention to the actions. Now, what I think about that situation, first thing first is, you putting all your energy into something in the hopes that it comes out and you or him are together and you spend the rest of your life with each other. Because when he bought the house back, gave her the money, that wasn't enough. What she really just wanted was him.
She wanted him. Yeah.
All the time.
That's how.
So money never mattered.
So why she walk away? Why would you?
Well, she didn't walk away. Remember? He said, here, this is for you. And then he went on to old girl.
Yeah. But she left him before.
She left. Because we have a breaking zone. We have a breaking zone.
Yeah,
Women have a breaking zone. We all break at some point. And it's only so much. And one thing I say we stay too long.
Yeah.
We stay too long. And when we stay too long, that causes an emotional breakdown. And that emotional breakdown, you hear guys, man, she bust my windows, man, she burned down my house. Yeah. Because that's the breakdown. It's been a series of things that led up to that, and that's the breakdown. I hear it all the time from women. I hear it all the time. And so what she did, one, she made the cardinal mistake. She stayed too long. Two, she needed to let him have his own suffering. Men, what make a man is how he suffer. Yeah. What the pain he goes through to better himself. You know what I'm saying? You appreciate the things that you went through to better yourself, don't you?
Most definitely.
Now, if another woman did that for you, do you think you appreciate that as much?
Nah.
Heck no.
But I will say it was, it was the support of a woman. Who,
absolutely.
Who helped me make the changes.
Yeah. And I'm not saying we can't support. Yeah. What I'm saying is don't do his work. She was doing his work. Yeah. She was doing his work. Third, if you know you're in a shaky relationship, let me tell you something what some of these people do. You should have had an agreement.
Yeah.
Because you're this is a business. Yeah. And you're helping him build a business. And I have one rule. I had one of my daughters dating. She called me and her and the guy was in a serious relationship. They were engaged. And she said, he want to start a business and we want to start and we want to come and talk to you about helping him start a business, blah, 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 blah. I said, whoa. She was like, what? I said, I'm not doing that. She said, why? Is that your husband? No. I said, until he become a we don't help nobody else get started on nothing because we elevate him and he ain't made no commitment to you. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. When y'all get married, he become part of this family. He comes into the fold. Until then, he got to figure it out. Because time and time again, I've seen women go to these small business classes. And I had one lady, she was excellent baker. And she doing her thing still up to this day. But had a guy and he... now all of a sudden, instead of him coming to the class, she's sitting in the class trying to do her stuff and his business idea too. I said, hey, come here, let me tell you something. Stay focused on you. And if he wants to do this, bring him in the class. And see, that's where we fall short at. We handicap you all. That's a handicap. We can't handicap you all. We got to let you all be your own man and support you in a different way. Now, sometimes Do we need to carry the torch a little bit more? Absolutely, we can carry the torch a little. We do need to carry the torch sometimes a little bit more to help men. But should we go all in and forget ourselves? No, and that's the cardinal rule. And so that there it goes. The minute the man gets the money or gains the recognition that he wants, now he's going to get the woman that he really wanted. Because guess what you looking like? You picked up weight, your hair fall out, you got bags underneath your eyes because you letting him. Don't never let yourself go like that. You know.
I think that, you know, as a man, because me, I'm different. Like, look, don't leave me. We gonna get there.
We gonna do it.
My thing, I know, because, you know, people have, guys have, anyone have purposes of people they want. I want to date this woman because she I don't give a fuck about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Happiness is my thing. You feel
everything that glitter ain't gold.
And I know in order for us to be happy, I must first be happy with myself.
You gotta be. There it goes. Fall in love with you. That's right.
And I gotta make sure you happy too. You know, because if you ain't happy, then I ain't happy.
I know what they say. Mama ain't happy. Ain't nobody happy.
Ain't nobody happy. I don't know. That was just all my thing. I never really had an expectation for, you know, I don't know, like a certain type. I just wanted to be happy. Like,
that's right.
Like, long
that's
as
right. We good.
Happy,
we good. As that song say, quit your worrying, baby.
Yeah.
You cool, I'm cool.
Yeah, because I'm gonna let you through it. I ain't gonna look. I ain't had a lot of relationships, but I ain't gonna look at you and be like, oh, you know, you're getting, you gaining weight. Like, I'm especially if you rocking with me, because I always feel like I'm a person that believe in karma. Like, I'm afraid of karma. Like,
karma is real. Karma is real.
And then what happened to dude in that one movie? She drove up the mountain to prove her love. He got with somebody that was a little more better looking. I'm
psychotic.
I'm scared of that. But anyway, so my last question when we talk about that, do you believe in love, real love, relationships? Do you think all that still exists?
Man, I'm retired. I'm retired from that. But do I believe in love? Absolutely. Do I love being in love? Absolutely.
I think it's beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing all day long. But it is difficult for me at this point. I find myself, so what do? It's like,
Probably you don't go to the
So then immediately the guy look at me like, do you work? It's like, or call me, hey, you want to go out? I'm sorry, I'm in Nigeria. I'll call you back in 2 weeks. Like, what?
So you get a lot of in your dating days or going on dates, considering that, you know, are you doing, you know, we hear this thing all the time that, you know, men are intimidated by professional women, strong women with careers. I'm not.
Right. I don't think you are. Absolutely, you're not.
Look, I come from the trenches.
You come from the women.
But I wanna learn. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid of saying having a woman to teach me and learn the things from a woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So have you been in situations where people are intimidated? Can you blame them though? At first I didn't think, but in your case, like, can you really blame them though? Like, look, you got how do you balance all that? Like, even when you was dating, I'm trying to figure out a date life for Miss Tracey. Like, how were you able to, you got too much going on. So
it was rough. It was rough. Yeah. I give one example. I was on a date. We were planning a date with a guy, and it's been a while, man. This was pre-COVID. And so you want to go out? Yeah, sure. Let's go out. And we were talking about foods, and I love all kind of different foods. I love Korean food. I'm a foodie. I'm Korean, Indian. I mean, name it. I'm Mexican. I'm there. And I don't want, and I'm a little partial about my food. So I go and use City in Chinatown for my Chinese food, and I'm going up on Page for the Mexican food.
There you go.
And, so I'm in my spots. I don't want to see Bubba cooking my Chinese food. And so I want my soul food. I'm in my hood, and so I really like divide up my cultures and have different spots. So he said, you want some Indian? Sure, let's go get Indian food. And we went to a restaurant, and I knew the restaurant. I helped the restaurant get there, but I didn't say anything because again, I am like, "What you do for a living?"
That probably would have ended. You did what?
When we sat there, we had food, and then next thing you know, the bill came. Bill said 0, and all the people in the back waving, "Hey!" And he was like, "What you do?" So then he said, "Well, you want to go dancing?" "Yeah, let's go dancing." And we went down. And we came downtown. We were dancing and went to a club that was open. That a lady that I know owned it, and walked in there. It's like, "Hey, come on through, come on." Finally, the next day he called me. He said, "You gonna tell me what you do or what?"
You got too much muscle to be back here. What's going on? Like,
and so no. I don't really have a problem. Most of the time I get guys that kind of just say, "Hey, I got this idea." And I kind of say, whoa. You get to pick a side.
Yeah.
Because I don't do that.
Yeah.
You pick a side.
There you go.
Which side you want?
Yeah.
You want the business side?
Yeah.
Or you want the personal side?
Yeah.
Because you don't get to do the F and F.
Yeah.
You know what them words are.
Yeah,
you don't get to do. You don't get both of them. You only get to do one.
Yeah.
And that's it.
There you go.
And so because I am candid and open like that, a lot of guys respect me for that. I don't have any problem. And I've got male friends. I got male friends I've been friends with since I was 12 years old. I go on the west side of Goodfellow and Martin Luther King. If anybody knows that, I'm a hood girl.
Yeah.
I'm a hood girl.
That's the hood for y'all that didn't know.
Right, that's the hood. Still can't stop crime over there. There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
They working on it. We're going to try to do something over there. But I come from that area. So, and I grew up with brothers and uncles. And so I have my father and my stepfather. And so I've had men in my life. And a lot of times women don't know how to handle themselves when they haven't had men in their life.
Yeah.
And so I can walk in a room full of men and have conversations and no expectations and not flirt and redirect you if I think you flirting, so I think that's always been a gift for me. And so I have guys that call and it's friendship, and the ones that's on some bull, they don't last long.
Yeah.
I'm Tracey Clark Jeffries, Tracey Clark first.
Say it again.
Tracey Clark first. And my granddaddy had a bunch of them. So I you can't play in my face. But other than that, I'm retired. I'm exploring myself and traveling, and if I look up and I feel I want to be a hospice wife one day, maybe I'll do that. But right now, no.
As the generation say, we outside right now.
I am outside.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I want to ask you something. And I'm sure you're deeply passionate about it. Is education.
Oh yeah.
It's education. Like let's talk education. And that's crazy coming from somebody to say let's talk education, because education was not on my.
It was not on your list
coming up.
Okay.
But I'm big on it with my children. Like education is plus. I didn't want them to have their late started or find out things the hard way like I did. Like life already hard, and I think it's gonna get even more crazy for these generations that's coming up.
Yeah.
But you being such this powerful black. Black woman. What is your stance
on education? Okay, so one, I'm a product of St. Louis Public Schools. And I went to Mark Twain, Laclede, Stowe, and Sumner High School. Well, there you go have it. So all around the world, All right. And I remember one time when it came time for me to go to college, I wanted to go away. And I had this big idea I was going to go to Spelman and all that stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Came home, told my mom, told my dad, told everybody. And they like, we ain't got no money. I'm like, hell, I've been here on this earth for 18 years. Y'all ain't got y'all shit together. I did. I went off. I got mad. I went off. I tore up some stuff. Because I was getting this grade. Y'all need to tell me I'm still, y'all on some bull. You know what I'm saying? speeding forward because I got hit like that. I made sure my kids didn't get hit like that.
Yeah,
I did. I made sure wherever they wanted to go, that's where they went.
Yeah, I got hit like that though. My kids, like, you know, mine tell me like, Dad, I wish you was. Why you ain't think to be rich?
Man, I remember that day. It was a sad day. I was making meatloaf in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You mean tell me I'm cooking, doing your job? Y'all ain't got no money for me? What the hell going on here? And so she was like, baby, you're gonna have to go on and figure that out, here yourself. And so I went on ahead and I jumped in community college first, but of course I had to work. And so I was working. And I got very young. I met my husband in church and everything. And so we had our children, but I was going to school. And so I attended Harris Stowe, and got my bachelor's degree while I worked and was a mother.
Say that one more time.
And was a mother. Oh, and was a wife.
And was a wife. So it can be done.
It can be done. It can be done. You might be tired. You lay in the bed. Here he comes. But some nights I don't know what happened. That's probably I up with those kids. But that's how it go. That's how it go. But I went on ahead and did that, and then when I started my business, I felt I needed to advance myself a little bit more. So I got my master's at Webster, and that was a good experience. And I majored in women issues because I was always I had the talk show going on then. I was mentoring women, and I kind of like that whole women issues, addressing those things. And so and then when my daughter went off to school in 2018, my last child, she went down to Jackson State. I decided to go get my doctorate in business administration.
Hold on. We just can't. Yeah, you just throw that out there like that's not. You went and got your what?
I went and got my doctorate.
Shout out to you.
At University of Missouri St. Louis. And so that was a great experience too. And so and then for me. My children, I sent my children to private schools. I mean, when I have truly invested in education.
Right.
My son attended Chaminade College Prep. One of my daughters went to Cardinal Ritter. My other daughter went to Christian Academy, and they all went off to college. They all have degrees, and so it's been a game changer for the family because we're like the first generation to go as far. My mother had an associate's degree, and my dad did have his master's, and he served also 20 years in the military, and he was a dentist in the military. And so, but I'm the first to go as far, and then have the cycle of the children to go. Like that. And so,
a family full of bosses.
Yeah, family full of bosses. I'm telling you, and the thread, the group chat off the chain. And
I'm on that time. I'm on that time. I'm on that time. I'm on that time.
from like, some hood conversations to like, stars, rocket moons and all of that stuff like that. It's like, man, if somebody heard our group conversations, it'd be like, oh my God, what's going on? Right. And so I made the investment in myself, and I made the investment in my children. Would I do it again? Absolutely, because the line of work I'm in, it's a constant challenge. Will make you credible. It's mostly, dominated male environment. And so having those credentials, being a lifetime learner in this particular field allows me to be able to, if I'm challenged, to be able to answer, and kind of just say, if it's not experience, then you can take one of these degrees with you today and leave me alone. And so, but it wasn't necessarily because I had to decide, even though all the degrees were well, it was my trade that got me through. Okay. So I did summer O'Fallon program my senior year. O'Fallon sent me to work. I was an accountant for Shaw's Lighting. They're not even around anymore. And so I had a business trade certificate. So I went B school, and I went B school all the way.
Yeah, you wasn't playing at her.
I did B school all the way, but it was Margie Seddon. Everyone thought she was a whole wacky lady, but she was really sharp and smart. And I just didn't give her no problems. And so she pulled me and got me a job. So my senior year, I went to work 8 to 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And learned accounting principles at this lighting company.
Wow.
And learned manufacturing. And so if education is not, a degree is not something that is for, because it's not for everybody.
Right.
It's not for everybody.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you, it's hard. It's a lot of learning. It's a lot of reading. It's a lot of writing. And it is time. And it is money. Let me tell you, Citibank going to be on my grave. And nobody else going to be there. But Citibank going to be standing there saying, she owe us money. And so it can be a debt as well. And I made sure my children didn't have debt.
Yeah.
So I'm carrying the load. All right. And so if that doesn't work, I do say, get a trade. I got a nephew. He went down to Morehouse, wasn't formed, got 80 hours, came home. He's an electrician. I can't tell you the amount of money he's making right now. He's 6 figures.
Yeah.
He is 6 figures.
Yeah.
And he was out at the airport, and now he's doing some things on the side. He's busy all the time. I can't get him to do nothing on my job.
Yeah. Yeah, you got that. I got sons and daughters. I'm proud of them all right now. But that's what I always tell them, or even tell the young guys that's in my family, like, get a trade or something.
Get a trade.
I wouldn't told that. I can't say I wasn't told that. I was showed that. Because my father, he had my father used to run a business, and he still do to this day.
All right.
He hard-headed though. and working on homes.
Daddy still think he's 21.
Yeah. And he built homes and remodeled homes and worked on cars. He's a mechanic since when I was little. And I never picked up none of them trades. I wanted the streets.
Yeah.
For some stupid reason, I would go work with my father a little bit, but I had to be out in them streets. You know what I mean? And it wasn't until you go through certain situations, and then I'm coming back home, and I can think of a time I was like, I'm back home. I'm out of prison. I'm a convicted felon. I got kids. I got a girlfriend. I'm $47,000 in the hole with child support, and I ain't got no
what
trade.
You gonna do?
And I want to, and then on top of that, I want to be a rapper.
I want to be a rapper.
It ain't adding up. You know what I'm saying?
Like the 50 Cent movie. He was a rapper for 15 minutes, and he went back to the street.
You said I can't go back to the street. Every time
they gonna lose you.
Every time I was trying to go back, they was kicking in. I'm like, man,
they gonna lose you.
That was the situation to be in, so I had to figure it out. Like I went and got a trade, and
see,
I used those trades, at the time, and at the time, like I said, I was in a relationship, so you got to have a supportive woman to go through all this.
You do.
You know what I mean? I used to be a welder, and I did welding for like 10 years.
Wow.
And that was something that I didn't even go to school for that. Like I took a program coming out of the federal prison and for 2 weeks and learned how to do it, and they hired me on the spot. And so I learned.
I remember that program. My brother did that program.
I learned more going
he still welds from it. And he's made a good living.
Yeah, well, it's good. I got tired of it, so I wanted something else. So I wanted to. I don't know. I started about computers, and I'm like, man, I want to get into computers. So
and that's how you got an IT.
I didn't even have a GED at the time.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that I didn't have a GED at the time.
I
got my GED in 30 days.
Wow.
About 30 days, a little over 30. I got it on my mama's birthday. And the same day I got my GED, I signed up for IT school.
Wow.
But I ran into, it was crazy because I ran into somebody just saying, a black woman, just like me, and I'm thinking, excuse me, but she didn't make me feel accepted. You know what I mean? It's like she telling me, like, brother, you in the wrong field. Like at this time, I still have a dress. I had gold teeth at the time. I'm tatted up. And she stereotyping me, and
but ain't that nothing? That's the norm now.
Yeah. But I think it's even worse when it comes from your own.
It's terrible when we get our own to try to shame us. How dare you shame us?
Because I think I was I was crying out for help at that time. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm like, it's only so long as we as men that we gonna have our back against the wall.
That's
You feel
true.
what I'm saying?
That's
Before,
true.
like, I'm not gonna let my family starve, and I'm not
Yes,
gonna starve, but I'm
yes.
crying out for help right now because
Yes.
I really want to do something different.
That's
But
right.
this
That's
world
right.
can put your back against the
Oh
wall.
yeah,
and force you to do
this
it.
world can put our black men into ticking time bombs because it's hard out here for us, and that's one thing I've always been conscious of when the black man goes out in the community, what he's facing.
Yeah.
You know, so when you come home, the last thing you need is your woman to rag on you.
Oh yeah,
Really, because you getting ragged on as soon as you get in that car. As soon as you get in that car and you pull up somewhere else, there's some challenges going on. It's either another woman mad at you, you know, because of whatever her issues is.
You might got a little baby mama drama.
Might got some baby mama drama. You definitely got to get some mess on the job.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And don't be in like a high leadership role or anything. That's definitely, you definitely gotta, you know, maneuver some things like that. As an entrepreneur, you gotta manage that. The black man gets so much pushback. You know, and I say we are the most disrespected race. You know, when we come to it, we are the most disrespected race. And I mean, I worked for I had several jobs, you know, in my undergrad, you know, when I got the news that I had to figure that out myself. And one of the jobs was I worked at a bank out in at the airport, post office at a bank. For people don't know that. And later on, Mercantile bought them out. Well, a lot of the Asians would come in on their flight and come over and cash their check. And it was a $10,000 check for them to start a business.
Wow.
And I used to cash those checks, and they were starting, and that was the rise of that nail and all that hair weave and beauty salons
in our community.
They were coming over. The U.S. was giving them $10,000 to come over and start a business, and here we are in this country. And if we ask them for $10,000 for a business, they think we gonna rob them blind.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, I think every black business should at least get $10,000 just forgivable. You know, to start a business here, because you've given so many other. I mean, the Arabs come here and build up gas stations. They get money for that and all the tax credits and all those things like that. When last time you seen a black-owned gas station?
I don't even think I ever seen one.
But they in our hood. They selling all that bad food and crap.
Talking to us crazy.
Flirting on the women and talking to our black men bad. I just can't stand it.
I can't either. You know, I had and I'd had some stories with those situations there. But it's crazy, because then you have for some people, you know, because I always say that we in a country where they don't believe in second chances, definitely for a black man.
No.
And if you're fortunate to find people who, that's why I give Tony so much praise as I do. You know, they guys like, oh, Kingpin, you know, but this is a guy who, he gave me an opportunity.
Gave you an opportunity.
I don't think he had a choice. I don't know if he had a choice. But it'd be always interesting in telling that story, because we met through email. You know what I'm saying? Like I came to St. Louis to meet him one time and then get the meeting, so I just started flooding with music.
That'll get him.
I'm gonna get a yes or a no.
That'll get him.
And it got him. Like, he was more excited than me out here. He was like, then when you come, like, he stayed on me. You know what I'm saying? And so I was just blessed to sign with him. But he also, you know, took me under my wing and just showed me a lot of.
And that's what more black men need to do. Once you get to a certain point, you need to come back and get the rest. Now, you can't get everybody, because somebody's going to screw you around. So you got to use your discernment. But we need to come get some of them. I'm always open to helping. I get black women. I had a black woman say, you know, I want to do what some of the stuff you do on the facility management. I said, well, it might be a lot of overcapacity for you, but here, start here. You know, and we helped her. I helped her start a little janitorial company. She said, oh, I need to give you some money. I need to get that. No, you don't, sister. No, you don't. Here you go.
Shut up.
You know, no, you don't. You know, do it. And she had her son working her and all that stuff, and so that's what you do. But you made a big transition yourself. You know, that's a good example. You know, your story is a good example that black men should hear. You know, the courtroom here is full of tattooed tears. And black men hollering help. And they may be hollering in different ways, from drug addiction, alcoholism, or just not being able to get on their feet because they was given the wrong deck of cards from the beginning. You know, a lot of us come from, it was just the cards we were dealt. It was the cards their parents had, and it was the kind of cards their parents had. And so it becomes generational. So when do we break the curse and come together collaboratively of a Black community and stop putting each other down? Quit this crab in the barrel stuff. It ain't your shit.
Yeah.
And you don't tell me when to move.
That's true.
You know, you don't tell me when to move. I tell me when to move. You know, who made "It's my turn" up? It ain't your time. Who made them phrases up? So, I mean, that's real talk, you know?
That is real. So when one of the things that I know that you talked about was you go into communities and you get there. You learn about cultures or how their way of living. What inspired you to do that? You just wanted to know?
So I kind of fell into it from the whole small business, mentoring small businesses. I would get a phone call and someone said, "Miss Tracey, I found this building. I'm going to open up a child care center. And they're going to give me $1 a square foot for the building. And it's like a 10,000 square foot building." Oh, girl, that sounds like a great opportunity. And then you go to the building and it's in an industrial area. Girl, who the hell going to bring that kid over here? And so then I found myself calling cities saying, "Hey, you got some property? You know, I got somebody that's interested." And one thing led to another. And I had a city invite me they said, "We can't hire an economic development person. We can't afford the salary. Can you be our economic development consultant and kind of help us with how we can strategically align the city with opportunities? We need new sidewalks and lighting. We want to open up a park. We want to, do some better housing. We want to address these things." And so one thing led to another. And that's how I ended up doing that piece of work from the economic development side. But then fast forward, then I would get calls from real estate developers. Like, "Hey, can you come work with us on different projects, revitalizing malls in urban and rural communities, to addressing infrastructure. Infrastructure is always an issue so people can build more." And then another thing led to another. And next thing I know, I'm sitting with the federal government and working with a series of those organizations, and they're sending me into cities after a lot of these cities received ARPA money. They're having trouble executing them. And so I've spent these last 3-4 years going into cities and helping them with executing some of their projects and how that will look and improving and helping them execute that money on their projects. So it's been anything from transportation districts where I implement trains with apartment buildings. It's been innovation centers for small business development. It's been infrastructure improvement. It's been expanding trails and parks and things of that nature. And then on top of that, when there's an issue in other cities, or other states, I get to go and evaluate and do walkthroughs on how they've been damaged. So recently I was in Oahu, Hawaii, where I did the walkthrough for the farmers that were affected by the flood through our economic recovery programming, and did that walkthrough and got a chance to look at how that flood affected those farmers. Wow. And I even had a chance to even help a farmer kind of reharvest some of the damage, replant some of the damaged food items that they had in Hawaii. And FEMA was there, the USDA was there, wow. And so it was very enlightening to see. And so that's kind of some of the things that I get to do. So I get to travel the world, and then I get to see how each city is living, and learning about some of the disparities of the things that stop a lot of the communities from growing.
Well, I'm just gonna say for me and my people, right here on this camera right now, as I do all my guests who we need you in the booth. We need you to
the boot
ride
hill
through there.
Is real. The boot hill is real.
Yeah, and I always say that I'm on this journey of building this team of people to come set eyes on our area to see what we going on, what's going on down there.
Yeah.
Because you go through there, and home is where the heart at. You know what I mean? Like I love St. Louis. It's been a blessing to me.
Yeah.
I think St. Louis is a big part of who made me who I am.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also from a small town that I love to death, and it's you got homes like most of the time down there. I always be like, one of the things that bothers me is because some of these homes go abandoned, and I be like, y'all can rebuild these.
Rebuild, yeah.
They turn them down.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they turn them down because it strips away the historic value.
Yeah.
See, what you don't know is people say, "Oh, they finally cleaning up." That's the worst thing you can let them do.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that going down Martin Luther King now. Yeah, those buildings were abandoned, but the historic history on some of those buildings. Yeah. First of all, I'll give an example like Wellston. Wellston was one of the first Black communities here that you could shop at, and now they're tearing down the buildings because we don't know any better. Yeah. We think that's a good thing, but then no, that's not a good thing. And so and one of the things that I've done in some other cities to address kind of what you're talking about down in Sikeston, and Sikeston is kind of like the last city before you get out of the Missouri, ain't it?
Yeah, it's further down.
It's further down.
Yeah,
so I don't cross into Arkansas.
Like Carruthersville, I think would be like the last.
It's Carruthersville, and then, so it's Sikeston, then Carruthersville, and then I get right into Blytheville.
Yeah, right. As soon as you go through Carruthersville, because it's Sikeston. After Sikeston, you got Haytide, New Madrid,
that's right.
And then you work your way up to Carruthersville.
Okay.
And then you get into.
So it's not the last, but it's a lot of Black people down there.
It is. I'm 15 minutes from Sikeston, my home.
Wow.
Yeah, Sikeston is a place that's growing. I will say Cape Girardeau growing. Sikeston growing. Yeah. When you look at places like Charleston, where I'm from. Maybe Kennett. Those other smaller towns is like. There's no growth. There's no growth. And I truly believe
Trump signs everywhere in Kenya. They playing too much down there, boy. I tell you, I don't know what. They drinking the wrong Kool-Aid. No sugar. They playing. But what I want to say about that housing piece is one of the that's a pretty common thing in a lot of those rural communities, as well as urban, is that these single disproportionate housing, and people want to come in and do about a masses, but we got a lot of Black men that have trades. So and they want to be developers. But everybody don't have to be a big real estate developer.
Right.
And so some of the things that I've incorporated in some certain cities that seems to be working well is the small development program, where you teach, where you give, let a small business, a small developer go and rehab a house. And basically the fix and flip model, but the city is kind of working with them to give them the access to do that.
Wow, that's crazy.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's crazy.
And giving them the capital to do it. Or whatever.
I didn't even know that was even a program or even possible. I've been saying that for years. I'm like, before they tear these houses down. And I'm sure it's funding in these small towns. I'm gonna find out. Like, I'm gonna find out. Like,
check into it.
They ain't gonna tell me too much.
Right. And if it don't exist down there, you know what I'm saying? We know what to do. We can get one down there. And that's some of the things that could be done here for our tornado recovery. I've had some discussions with some people, and I kind of said, hey, while we doing all this development, while you turn down and you plan to rebuild and everything, give out 100 homes, give back 100 homes, give them back, build the homes, and for those who can prove that they own the property, build a house back. Down in Maui, Hawaii, it's called Lahana. They have a documentary out called Lahana Strong. 2023, they had a massive fire that destroyed all their homes. And when you come into Lahana from Maui, because I visited 3 islands on my trip and their economic recovery efforts. There's all kind of development happening. All these homes are getting built. And I visited a lady who actually makes cultured pearls real from the oyster, and she gave me a golden sea pearl. And I went to her house, and she said, I just moved back in my house from a year ago from a fire. Well, come to find out, they had the same disaster where their homes were all destroyed. Everyone was displaced. People were living in the tourism hotels and all of those things. It was a big mess. But when you come back in 2026, it almost looked like it didn't happen. You want to know why? Because the government decided to say they were going to give the money or whatever the gap is for everybody to build their home back. And they gave homes away.
Right.
So that people could come back to their community.
Right.
And I sat there and said, what the fuck we doing in St. Louis? This pissing me off. But then instead of getting mass real estate developers again to do that, they did a small developers. They had small contractors come in, gave them the capacity, so they can pay their workers to build these homes. When I walked in and came up into that community to visit this lady, do you know the contractors were all outside singing while they were working? Somebody was whistling. Somebody was literally singing a song. And it was like this harmony in this community they're rebuilding. And I said, oh my God. St. Louis need to see this. Because we need to mimic this. And don't get me wrong, they had to fight the governor and kind of say, hey, what's gonna happen type of thing. But they came together collectively and one of the filming, the governor literally said, what I said first was wrong. And we do need to get involved.
Wow.
So
this has been school for me, right?
It's
crazy.
School's in.
It has, and this is the thing that's just like been on my mind with like I said, my area, and it's like I'm knowing it can. There have to be a second chance for these houses, and things like that. But I know I'm also from a place where they may give some community leaders some money and just be like, shut up,
right.
And we won't never know, you feel what I'm saying? Because I can just see, I can't, me walking in there and like, hey, show me your books, or, you know what I mean? So I have to, and I'm strategically, and I'm studying, and I'm trying to learn my way of, of handling this, because I'm sure it has to be
some kind of way you can go at it. Absolutely.
Before you tear these houses down, and before you tear these buildings down, and I'm from, and like in my area, there's a lot of farmland. And I'm like,
how preserve the farmland so some minorities can own it? We're going to be in some farm trouble. Maybe it might be, and a lot of true farmers is an aging population, and maybe it might be time for some black communities to have that. I'm a farmer. A lot of people don't know that. I'm a timber farmer. So I'm a conservationist, and I have land and water, and I harvest trees.
Okay. Is it anything in this world that you don't do?
Man, jack of all trades, master of many. I'm telling you, you got to do it. You know.
Like how do you balance all that and make time for yourself? Like
you work hard, play hard. I have one rule: work hard, play hard, and I have another rule. I don't. After a certain time, I cut it off.
There you go.
I cut it off. I believe, and I cut it off, and I get lost. Somebody might not hear from me for 3-4 days. Like, where's she at? Like, I gotta go. I gotta go regroup. I gotta go regroup. And I go wham, throw it all out there or whatever. And then I've got a good support. I'm teaching my kids a lot of my work and a lot of the things that I'm into, so they don't have no surprises. And my girls have stepped up into the business, and so I'm creating a generational. And so having that support, and then having those relationships like you talked about, so I can pick up the phone and say, hey, such I need this, I need that. Can I get this done? That's important. That's very important, and knowing that someone's going to be,
even if it's just a conversation or something. Because that was one of the things that I was like refusing to do. Like I was refusing to let these people hold this felony over my head.
Absolutely. Don't tell you what you can do.
We're not doing that.
And look, fast forward, we know doggone well what a felon can be at this point in time.
It's crazy though. Like
it's absolutely insane.
You can run for president as a convicted felon. But I can't run for mayor in my home.
And that's a doggone shame. That is just crazy. I think they need to wipe away felons, especially drug convictions. Because we all know what those laws were. They were designed. That movie Snowfall had a lot. I knew a lot of Snowfall guys. You know what I'm saying?
I got my way looking at you.
I know a lot of Snowfall guys. We ain't make them drugs. You know, where you think they came from? It definitely fell in that way. And it destroyed a lot of communities. You sent our black men to jail, you know, and now you want to keep them with this red tape over there. But I'm telling you, one day, when if it ever changed, we're going to see some brothers rise up.
I got a tat. I got breaking the chain on my own. Like, but you know, I've been able to kick their ass a little bit because I did not let these people stop me.
No. And it needs to be expunged and exonerated. I'm telling you that right now, you know.
And now I have to get I got a team of people that's helping me get a pardon, but we got a president and I would think I would have thought this would be an easy pardon to get since we got a felony in our
It would have been white.
I would have thought that would have been It don't work for I don't know. I'm gonna see how it goes. Like I got some pretty cool people that's coming up. A lot of people that I ran for certain offices and ran for certain seats. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna see how it go. Like I said, having that network or having them people to just reach out and guide you in the right place. So you pick up the phone, who know you sincere. Because let me just say that sometimes people call your phone and they ain't, you know, they call for the wrong reasons.
I'm telling you,
meet people for the wrong reasons.
They the Joker and Riddler all in one.
So I'm the type of person that I'm not introducing nobody to nobody unless it's somebody that I know serious. Because these people, man, you have to be
careful how you connect people.
You have to be careful.
And that's leading into that, talking about political climates, that's a pretty good rule to follow here in St. Louis. Because, if you read the paper, a lot of times, a lot of our people go to jail because somebody introduced somebody to somebody and nobody did their homework.
Nobody did their
homework. You know what I'm saying? True. And it's somebody outside our race that then sent somebody in our race, off to prison, got them kicked out of certain leadership roles. They're going to jail, all this old stuff and everything because they didn't do their research, and I get people calling. You see it a lot of it. I get phone calls. Can you introduce me to somebody? No, this person. Hell no. You don't know them like that. You don't know them like that. And then I'm a lot of times I'm apprehensive to that because I'm from this town. I'm born and bred here. I know every alley. I know everything about St. Louis. And if I don't know you, I know your mama. If I don't know your mama, I know your grandma. Somebody, and I have a large family. Somebody knows somebody here for me. And so I'm always apprehensive about connecting people because a lot of my relationships come from a different background. And I may have known someone or their family member for so long, and so therefore you calling about making a business connection. When I open up that door and make that connection for you, it's going to be automatically more stronger than a business connection because my connection it was way before that person was ever who they were. And so I'm always apprehensive about that. But I do believe in helping, like I said, well, you know what you trying to do? And then because they think they need to meet this person, you might not even need to meet that person. You might need to do something different because I know one thing for sure, dealing with a brother who has those, having a brother that was close in age that really we were childhood friends with. And he's still crazy, still crazy, and tattoo tears, and gangs got hold of him, and as a blood and horseshoe area, all of that. One thing I know for sure, conspiracy don't have an expiration date.
Nah, it don't.
And you can be on the phone with someone and have a conversation with someone and really mean them the best and really not be, it can be meaningless, but it can go a whole nother way if that person recording you, or have a third party on the phone or something. And so you got to be mindful. And because I do dabble a little bit in the political scene, I have one rule. whatever you tell me, stay with me.
Yeah.
I don't pick up the phone, tell nobody else
Yeah,
nothing, because I never
yeah.
know what somebody else is thinking.
Yeah.
And you'll never say Tracey Jeffries said anything, you know, and then I give the best advice from my point of view.
Yeah.
Third, I call you out on your shit. You ain't doing what you're supposed to do in this town. You ain't doing what you're supposed to do in this town. And we got a lot of people that need involuntarily retirement parties serving in seats. They need to just come in office, and there need to be a bunch of balloons and saying, you know what, we really thank you, but you know, it's time for us to start grooming the next generation. We need to start looking at people like you, people who want to step up. We need to start looking at that, you know, because that's why you look up and you have a bunch of buffoonery in office, and you have people that won't stand up to leadership, you know, because people don't want to groom. Everybody like I said, it's not your time, it's not your turn. Right. But where's the pocket of people that we're grooming for it to be their time and their turn, you know? And how I ended up in it was because somebody felt it was my turn to advocate for people. And I remember it was an issue that was out in St. Louis County, and I was in one of those cities, and I was sitting there, and Mayor Ronald Murphy was my mentor, and she's since gone, but I miss her dearly. And I'm sitting in the back, and she had the fastest council meeting ever, and they said, yay, bam, slammed the thing down and got him and said, come on, let's go fight. And I'm sitting there packing up my bag, thinking I'm finna go to my house. She said, where you going? I said, I'm going home. She said, no, you're not. You're going to fight with me.
Yeah, there you go.
And took me out to that protest.
Wow.
And I'm standing in the back. They all about to get arrested. My eyes big as hell. I'm like, hell, I can't go to jail. Take care of my family. I'm all they got, you know. But that gave me my introduction into being a voice. And again, you know, and putting me in the rooms, and I'm hearing how they're working cohesively together in some of those communities, and so we need to do that.
That was just a lot of inspiration to me, because one of the things I got yesterday, and somebody reached out to me, because in my hometown they just got this thing now where you can't. I don't want to say I know I'm not going to be spot on, but I'm gonna get you close to it. Where they removing flowers from graveyards. You're not allowed to put flowers in graveyards, and if you do, you can put like one out there.
That's
and you
ridiculous.
Can't put all this. And this is in my hometown, and this was just recent, like day before yesterday. I just heard about it. No, I actually just heard about it yesterday, and it was like, man, okay, y'all going too far.
Too far.
You know, you're going too far now.
Too far.
But they can get it off, because one thing I have learned is that our people don't really stand up.
We don't
stand up. We stand up against each other.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? We stand up against each other.
And
then if you go try to stand up, if they gonna stand with you. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
And so that was the thing I got. It was like, man, I know you got to know some people, somebody up there in St. Louis, or somebody that can tell us something like, this can't be right. And I'm like, dang, this can't be right. Like,
right.
I mean, you know, it's a problem when y'all tampering with the dead now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're trying to stop people from having mourning for what they're doing. Yes. What is it? A problem with someone cleaning? I mean, what's the issue?
I don't know, but I'm going back down there today.
Yeah.
And I want to know more about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do my research on it. But I do feel like, and anybody that knows me know I'm like, I be trying to be the voice. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not feeling like I'm being a voice. That was another reason for this podcast. Like, you know, the marriage that got. Like, I want people to know what we're dealing with.
Know what you're dealing with.
And I want people
be
to know
aware.
what St. Louis is dealing with, but the opportunities that St. Louis do have. Because St. Louis do have a negative name. In a lot of areas, even back my way. But I always tell people, like, it's what you come here for.
It's what you come here for.
I didn't come here to be. I didn't come here to be on the streets. I don't. These ain't my streets. These ain't my territory.
Right.
You know, like, I can probably defeat you back home, because I know. I can't defeat you in your own church. You know what I'm saying? So
And that's how I feel. People say, why you ain't moved? I said, this where I'm from. This is it. You know, this is it. This is it. I was at a gas station in the hood. Brother said, you look like you don't even belong here. I said, what you talking about? You want some of this? And I told him where I grew up there, a couple of places names, come to find out his uncle ran them all. Ain't that nothing? You hear what I'm saying? So how can you leave a town like that? And but then St. Louis is one of those places also where you can, I tell people, I say, you can start a business, buy a house, buy a car, get married, all in one day. All in one day. You can do that all in one day. You know, now you might have to find the capital to make those things work. It might take some extra time, but you can literally legalize and go get all of that all in one day. All in one day. And so, but it has a negative effect because of what is stereotyped. Now, technically, you know, we're a small town, and now if county and city ever was to merge, oops, that's political. Let me shut up. But if they was to ever merge, we'd be like the, you know, 4th or 5th largest country largest city in the United States. That would open up so much other federal opportunities that I see in other cities that we can't even touch. But that's a different story. But right now, where we are right now, in regards to the separation, we're like a few 100,000 in St. Louis City, maybe like a mill or something in St. Louis County. That's small compared to some of the other cities and how their makeup is. But the reputation that we have, I'm on an elevator. I'm at another state. And I can't remember where I was at, but I was at a conference. I was speaking on some research projects. And I was there, and I get on the elevator, and I just finished my speech, talk about the economic survival of Black-owned small businesses, building resiliency in urban communities. And basically, I'm saying if you give Black businesses the capital, they will build their own communities back. And so, get on the elevator with these everyone in there, you know, of other, you know, ethics or whatever and ethnicities. And one person said, so where are you from? And I said, oh, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. And the whole elevator said, ooh.
Wow.
So I counted back and said, and it's all true. I wasn't even going, you know what I'm saying? You know, now what? Because we can all have it out in this pause the elevator. You know, but the fact that they all said, ooh. 2, 3 of them in there said, ooh, was appalling to me. Embarrassing. And it pissed me off because, you know, you're nowhere near St. Louis. You're talking about, ooh, because of what you see on social media. And so we need to change that makeup. We need to change that. We need to change that scenario here. When people say they're from St. Louis, no one should be saying, ooh, to us.
And this is definitely, and but you know, again, that's what even opening this interview when we talked about Ghana and places like that, and how the U.S. Make those places like I don't want to visit there. And that was, you know, that's how I looked at St. Louis before I came here. Like, they're a little more crazy than we is. I was in the streets too, and they're a little more crazy. But then when I came up here, I was like, I didn't understand how you had homeless people. And I say that, you know, no shade against homeless people because I know times is hard, but it was just too many opportunities up here for me. Like, I felt like whatever I wanted to do, I could do it up here.
Wow.
Now I had to meet some other people for certain things, but I never had a problem with finding a job.
See.
I never had a problem with even with music. Like I knew. When I was locked up and I used to meet guys in St. Louis, they used to always tell me, like, man, you got to go out there and team up with some niggas in the streets in order to do music. I was like, nah, bro, I ain't doing all that. You know what I'm saying?
And Pookie and Ray Ray friends.
You know, hook up with a little stomach ache now and then, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, nah, but I did have to hook up with some people, you know what I'm saying? Like Tony such as himself, but it was just a lot of opportunities up here. You feel what I'm saying? And even having some of my kids to move up here is, you know, it's been
opportunities for them.
If you want violence or you want that's everywhere. You feel what I'm saying?
That's true.
Everywhere, you know? So that's what you're going to look for. That's what you're going to find.
That's what you're going to find.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm a person that I'm on my pivot 24/7, so I'm always watching my surroundings. So you know, that's just you know me anyway. I'm going to watch my surroundings, but other than that, I haven't had a problem.
Yeah.
In this St. Louis, it's been nothing but a blessing. Like I'm a forever call this my second home.
That's what I'm talking about.
It helped make me the person that I am today.
Yeah, I'm glad that it's done that for you. I really am. I'm happy that that's done that for you. That's awesome.
So when people say that, I go to bat for St. Louis, and they're like, nah, it ain't just that. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going up there to look for it, you're definitely gonna find it.
Oh no,
You're gonna find some action.
You keep on knocking on the devil's door too long, he gonna answer. That's just how it is.
It can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
But moving on, I got a couple questions I want to ask before we wrap this interview up. And one of the questions I want to ask is, tell me something people don't know about you.
Woo.
Tell me something people don't know about you.
Well, first of all, I'm going to say it's probably a lot that people don't know about me because I'm private. I'm private. I don't.
I'm outside, but I'm private.
I'm outside, but I'm private. And so. It's probably a lot of people. Even when they hear this interview, it's going to be some people that say, "I didn't know that." My own family's going to be like, "What?" Because I'm private.
Yeah.
I just don't talk about a whole lot with me. But
I'm like that too. I done a couple interviews.
Yeah,
like, bro, you did
that.
I just didn't.
I forgot.
They brag and boast about it.
Here you go. Yeah. I forgot to tell you. So I would say one of the things that someone didn't know about me, if they were kind of if I was to kind of pinpoint something,
I probably think I can answer it for you.
Answer that for me.
Your voice.
Yeah.
You have a voice.
I have a voice.
Yeah, you have a
You think so?
Yes,
I have a singing voice.
I collab with you definitely.
Okay.
Because it don't come off. You don't come off as a singer.
Yes.
When people meet you, and then when all this going on, like if somebody meets you, like even opening this up, like tell me more about you. You named all these things, and I guarantee you nobody would have thought we was on the song together.
Yeah,
like,
that's true. That's true.
I would say sing.
That's true because I did see the Everybody Mouth Go. And and playing back years ago, I sang in church and I sung with an interdenominational choir. We traveled, we did an album, all of that. And I remember the choir person saying, "We want you to sing a solo and sing a song." And I remember my pastor leaned over and said, "She been sitting in this church all this time. We didn't know that girl could sing like that." Yeah. And so but my mother was a singer. My mother, she used to make ends meet. Her and her high school friend, who was a singer too, on Friday or Saturday nights, I can't remember the days, but it used to be a lot of talent shows. And all these lounges would have talent shows for performances. And so my mom would put it on the AM radio, have someone babysit us, and her friend would go and win these talent shows and sing. And I would listen to her on the radio, and she would sing and perform. And so my mother was a singer, and my grandmother, she used to open up for Lena Horne.
Oh, really?
Red Fox told the jokes. Red Fox ran with her brother, and they all grew up together. And Red Fox would warm up with the jokes. My grandmother was the second act, and then oh, I forgot. Well, who I said her name was, I forgot. Ella Fitzgerald.
Okay. Ella Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Ella Fitzgerald, not Lena. Ella Fitzgerald. And then Ella Fitzgerald was the key performance. But you want to know what happened? My grandfather got in the way. He was fine anyway. Ella was liking him, and my grandmother was going with him, and her and Ella headed out.
Oh, wow.
And Ella kicked her out.
Oh, wow.
I always like to say Ella won. Because nobody know who my grandma is. Everybody know who Ella is.
Wow.
I'm like, boy, he messed that up real bad. They stayed together till they died, but girl, he messed that up real bad.
Wow.
We could have had a big name going on and stuff. And so I always say I like to sing. I don't say I can't sing, but I always like to sing. And so I would let you have that. Yeah. I think that's it. Okay, I'll take it.
You have a different style of singing too. Like it was different. When I heard, I was like, oh shit, yeah, I got it. And I started thinking that I had a lot more projects for you that I wanted you on that we never got a chance to.
We can get around to it. We can get around to it. Yeah, I'm always up for that. I'm always up for a recording.
Yeah.
Like, come on, meet me down here. All right.
Yeah, we definitely got to make that happen. So another question I got: what advice would you give young entrepreneurs and people trying to elevate their lives?
Okay.
Because I know you gave a lot throughout.
Yeah. I think I mentioned being a lifetime learner. Be a lifetime learner. Humble yourself. Just always be able to learn. Don't ever think you know too much. I never want to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the dumbest motherfucker in the room either.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be the smartest person in the room, not ever. And I've always been able to learn. And how you learn is by listening.
Yeah.
You know, you can't learn nothing doing all the talking.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing all the talking, that means you're leading. That means you know something.
Yeah.
You know, so I reiterate being a lifetime learner. I know with this social media and everything that's going on and how things always look, and I do want to say it's not what it looks like. It's what it is.
Yeah.
I tell people that. Forget about what it looked like. Forget about, the flash. Stack as they say, stack your chips. Stack your chips. Get your paper together.
Yeah.
Have some assets. You know what I'm saying? Get into some things. Own some stuff.
Yeah.
And get a second job to do that. Don't get a second job to pay a car note.
Yeah. Shout out to you for that. You said some real shit.
Right. I'm going to get a brand new Dodge, and I'm working 12 hours a day so I can pay my car note. You fool! It depreciates soon as you pull it off the lot.
Yeah.
And you're doing that for what? To catch some chick that's on the bus stop that's gonna finna drain you all your money anyway?
Yeah.
Now, come on. Stop. Don't worry about what it looked like. It's about what it is. And I even have to tell that to a lot of my mature friends up to this day, because they all feel they need to have, the big house, the big car, the big this, the big that. But then, you know what they say? They say big debt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And one thing I have to say about me is that I live my life in a debt free. Besides Citibank. Department of Education. Tracey Clark Jeffries. When you come through, saw that printing forwards, I need you to look out for a sister. I struggle. All right? And so, but, that's important. And, be consistent.
Yeah.
And, be consistent in what you do, and let your yays be yays and your nays be nays. When I say no, it's no. And when I say yes, I'm going all in.
Shout out to you for that.
Thank you.
And I hope y'all caught on to that and listen. I might run that back 2 times.
Run that back.
And one more question before we get to start wrapping this up is what's next for you?
Ooh.
It's the next big thing for you.
Sometimes I post different stuff and I say, what's next? I do that. I do that on social media. I say, what's next? And so, I have no idea. I have no idea what's next for me. I have no idea.
I like that sometimes.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know where to, I don't know where my next projects are going to lead me. I don't know where that is. I know I have a plan of what things will look like, but what's next? I don't know. The book, I don't know. Bottled water company, I don't know. Yoga brand, I don't know. You just never know. Stay tuned on me. That's all I'm. Look, I'm put the EG. I'm gonna drop the O because I don't have an ego. But I'm put the EG out there. Stay tuned on me. That's all I'm gonna say.
I like that because I'm the same way. Like I don't know. His brain works so good.
Yeah.
You never know what I might wake up and
pivot into. And that's the beauty of loving life. This thing called life is a journey, and we got to enjoy while we're here and not take it so serious. Be serious, but not take it so serious. Don't let it affect you emotionally, and just be able to say, you know what? I'm going to have a podcast. I'm going to be on iHeart. I'm going to do all this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to, you know what? I think I'm gonna travel down across the world or something with my show. You know what? just being it and just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Just, a lot of stuff is once I put a second thought into some things or some ideas. If I put a second thought into it, it's always been a failure.
Yeah.
But if I say I want to do this, and then I say, how could I do that? If I immediately go into the strategic part of how it can work, I don't get too much fear. But the minute I second guessed it, I'm scared.
Yeah, I think that's true. I can relate to that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to be. My thing is because like we mentioned earlier, you have some people that just sit around and just talk it. They got and good ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the same ideas they had 10 years ago,
mm-hmm.
but they never put the effort. I don't want to be this. I don't want to get old and live with the I should have.
If I could have, should have, would have.
Yeah. I don't want to do that. But I don't fear jumping out there. You know what I mean?
I don't think you do.
All fails, at least I can say I tried for it. You know what I mean? So
when you get in the music industry, first thing first is, I have to say about that, and you being in that, that's guts all within itself, because that's a lot of criticism.
Yeah, definitely.
And then to be in St. Louis to do that, let me tell you something. I know some brothers back in my day, we going back to the rap, I know some brothers back in my day, they had the exposure that you can get now. Them brothers be rock stars. I mean, spitting lyrics all in Laclede School yard. But we were labeled as being country and didn't have our own thing, and we never found that piece. And shout out to Nelly who did go ahead and say, and let it be okay that we say dar. You know what I'm saying? And while we Midwest, we operate on some East Coast behaviors, but we actually have Southern style. And so being able to embrace that, what's that other brother? Chingy. He said same thing. Being able to embrace it, but I know some brothers that was that was turning it down, and but because we weren't recognized as that rap industry. At that time, people got looked over, and so St. Louis is a hard market to be a rapper.
It is. And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna speak this for the Missouri area. For one, and I ain't just gonna single St. Louis out, but I'm gonna single it out a little bit. I'm just gonna speak my truth. Because me doing music here, I was just fortunate to, be in some of the platforms and be able to bypass some of the people who was in line waiting, and doing big shows and being on stage where ain't nobody really know me. And, but I see so much talent here.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So much talent here. And I just think it's a thing of pulling each other back, you know what I'm saying? And because I'm from a small town where you never would you hear me engage in I'm a better rapper.
Right.
You know what I mean? You'll never hear me say that.
Right.
But what I will say is I don't think there's nobody in my area who has outworked me.
Got it.
And I say that with my chest out.
Yeah, say it with your chest.
But, and I have the accolades to prove that. But anyway, I just think that when you think about talent in St. Louis and me being on the music scene, a lot of times I used to see so much good talent, rappers and I know some of them that I be like, I got a partner now who I would just be like, yo, St. Louis ain't ready for you. And he been in the music for a minute. And then I've said, and I've met with, artists and try to collab. One thing, as soon as you come to me and you act like you already Nelly level, I ain't got no conversation for you.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Right. And I think that's a lot of things that go on, especially now that's the Missouri as a whole.
I can believe that.
As a whole.
I can believe that.
When you start acting like you already heard and this is our goal to get here, then I don't have no
well, you're uncoachable at that point. You're unteachable, you're uncoachable.
I can't collab with you. I can't, I met DJs like that. Oh, I need this. Hold on. Ain't nobody really even booking you like that. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that's just it may be a worldwide problem, but I'm speaking from Missouri. You know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking from where I come from. And the thing of it is a lot of people already figuring they up here and they don't know the apps. So when I really start getting into music and learning, you know what I'm saying, from this side of it, I realized that your music is just 10% of it. See, I've always heard it, but I didn't really pay attention to it until, you start getting in the heart of it.
That's right.
Like, oh,
it's a whole lot more that goes with it.
It's a whole lot more that goes on to,
I can believe that.
I remember I had to sit down one day and ask myself, like, is this some shit I really want to do? Because, Tony was like...
the second guess your talent.
Like, he was working it like the shit. It was like, I was good. Like, I really had to go... we got to go rehearse this day. I gotta get a fit this day.
Let me breathe.
And then the next day we out in Atlanta the next day.
Oh,
and then we get out there. I got a radio interview this day, and it was like, yo, I don't know if this is some shit I really want to do.
Yeah, but he'll crack that whip, baby. I'm telling you.
I did, and I'm thankful that I got to see
that side of it, that work. You know what would be good to have is something we haven't had. We always have like concerts of different genres. We have your R&B, and we have like concert series and stuff. But maybe if we did a concert series where it was just hip hop, and we featured a lot of the St. Louis talent, a Midwest talent. Just say Midwest talent. Yeah. And if you're from the Midwest, and and you're an artist, we have a day at the park. Might be a lot, that beef up security. But
I think it would be dope.
I think it'd be dope.
I think it would be dope. I think it would be give people opportunity to hear each other.
Yeah.
Definitely have to beef up security, considering where I think that would be dope because
the stigma that comes with rap and hip hop that there's there's violence, and so you have to make people feel comfortable. Not saying it will happen. It's the stigma that comes with it.
Yeah, and I think it would be good for the rap culture right now because I think it's like. Man, is beat down right now. There's so much,
and find some of those old school rappers that some of them battle rappers that used to be back in the day. They come out in a minute. They come out in a minute and have something like that.
I think that would be good for the culture.
They might do something like that. What y'all think? Let us know what you think about that. That's something you want to see.
Missouri, Boo Hill, all the Midwest. Like, let us know.
Let us know
because I think it would give people a platform, and I think that was one of the things for me that helped me out is I used to love to hit the stage. Like I remember bringing some people up here, and I think it was one of my first big shows was like Aristo, I think, coming to St. Louis anyway, and it's all these A-list artists on there. And I remember somebody asked me from my area was like, "Yo, you ain't scared to go on that stage?"
You're like,
When we live for this, what I'm saying?
That's what you want to do.
This is what I want to do. And I'm not thinking the fact that nobody in this crowd, and nobody paid their money to come see me.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get on this stage and I'm going to act like they're here to see me.
That's right.
And I had fun doing it, and so it helped me out. And I think giving those platforms of people, because I used to do that back in my hometown every Labor Day.
Nice.
I would have this event called Fun Without Guns, what I mean? And I would just, and sometimes I was able to bring a couple artists from St. Louis down there. We would just do this whole show in my community.
Man, we need to have a Fun Without Guns here.
Maybe that, and it was always successful.
We have something like that in the loop.
Yeah, that's something we might have to discuss. I think that'll be nice for the culture. But I want to end it. I want to ask another question, and this will be my last question. What do you want your legacy to be?
Woo! I want my kids not to mess up nothing I did.
There you go.
Don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up. Leave it for the next set. Leave it for your kids.
Yeah.
And so, not much. If I've done some good to someone, if I've, been, set a positive direction in someone's life, that's all that matters for me. That's it. I'm a child of I'm going nowhere. Jesus not gonna send me nowhere.
That's dope. I gotta give you a round.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And I definitely appreciate you you stopping by and you know, just sitting down with me. It's always good to see you.
Absolutely.
Man, I learned so much from you.
Thank you.
I'm excited to see what's next for you. You
Yes.
know, and I'm praying for you, rooting for you.
All right.
You know, and one thing I do want to say is I'm thankful for your friendship.
Absolutely.
I know when I sent the text, you was just like, when you want to do this?
When you need? This my boy here. When you need? This is my boy. When you need?
Yeah. So and hopefully we can get back in the studio soon. I'll definitely be in touch. Of course, you know I'm gonna be in touch with you with a lot more things I need information on. But again, from my heart, I just want to thank you for stopping by and blessing my platform.
You're welcome, and thank you so much.
And to the people that's been watching, this has been another episode of On That Time podcast with my girl, Miss Tracey. Y'all can be looking out for her. Y'all gonna see more about her. But until then, thank y'all for tuning in. We love y'all. Good night.
Talk to us like mine can wait. Ain't no one jumping the line today. Honestly, nigga, I mind today. Think I'm just hating, rewind the tape. Pay what you owe me, I'll find a way. If I make a decision, it's mine to make. I'm trying to be real and they trying to play. Turn me up, I'm on that time.